Brilliance Audio presents Testimony of Two Men by Taylor Caldwell. Performed by George Newbern. Chapter 1. When young Robert Sylvester Morgan had occasion to write his mother, he always made what he wryly called a first draft. This was done on foolscap paper he had been taught thrift, and then recopied on a better grade, where he could use his elegant Spencerian, which he loathed, in a way to please his mother, and in words and phrases which would not startle her. June 8, 1901, Hambledon, Pennsylvania, Quaker Hotel. Dear Mama. He paused. Why in hell wouldn't she let him call her mother? Mama, at his age, for God's sake. You will be happy to know that matters have culminated successfully since I arrived here a week ago. Hambledon is a beautiful town of about 25,000 people, not to be compared with Philadelphia, of course, but adequate and lively. After a moment's thought, he crossed out the last word and substituted up to date. It is situated on a river, quite broad, near at hand, almost a bay, and studded here and there with pretty islands, very picturesque. The people are pleasant and friendly and very civil, his mother's pet word. There is considerable industry, but it is located near the fringes of the town, so that the air is clear and fresh, an excellent thing for your arthritis and asthma. Though on the water, the atmosphere seems dry. There appears to be little poverty, and the working class is energetic. His mother would approve of that. The better sections of the town are charming with broad streets, fine old lawns, magnificent trees, elms, birches, oaks, pines, spruces, and houses which would be considered impressive even in Philadelphia. I have already selected 4 for your choice and approval, and will take you about to them when you arrive next week. Any of them would delight you. Would they? Nothing delighted his mother very much. Perhaps he was being uncharitable, or even irritable. He had never felt this way toward his mother before. He paused to wonder, then shook his head, baffled. Behind the town rises a whole ridge of mountains, inspiring at dawn. He had seen the dawn only once this week, and then inadvertently, but his mother liked the mention of dawns. The very best people live on the lower reaches of the mountains in splendid residences. As for hospitals, the most important things to me at this time, there is one great one, called the Friends, though it is not exactly Quakerish. His mother detested Quakers. It is partly town-supported. The other hospital is private and select and very expensive. To be on the staff is something to be coveted. Now came the difficult part of the letter, and he gnawed the end of his pen and contemplated the mountains he so admired through the polished window of his neat little room. He finally continued. Hambledon's hospitals serve not only the town, but the villages and the farms outside, of course, and have the best of reputations. In fact, the hospitals here would be admired even in Philadelphia or Boston or New York. Very modern. He frowned at the last word. His mother could not bear anything modern, but he let it remain. I confess I was agreeably surprised. I have met a number of physicians and surgeons here, all enlightened men except for a few, and all gentlemen with distinguished reputations. 3 are regularly called into consultation in Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and even New York, for they are specialists in their field. One of them, he winced, is Dr. Jonathan Ferrier, though you may find that hard to believe. But I have read his lectures and his articles in the organ of the American Medical Association, and I can assure you that he is greatly esteemed. He wrote faster now. It is my belief, based on constant association with Dr. Ferrier, that he has been a much maligned man, and that he was truly innocent of his wife's death. I need not recall to you that he was forced to demand a change of venue from Hambledon to Philadelphia in order to get a fair trial. But the Philadelphia newspapers were hardly more just than the newspapers in Hambledon. However, as you know, he was acquitted. He had his license to practice restored and his place on the staffs of both hospitals. But he is...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?